Namaste, sir.
Namaste, namaste.
So,
Madhuri, what language? Yeah,
uh,
please.
my mother is also joining, sir. Just
Please,
a
please,
minute.
please. Sure, sure. What language are you comfortable with?
English, Kannada.
English, Telugu, no problem.
Acha, okay, got it. So, where are you currently
We are
situated?
staying in Bangalore.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. Namaste.
Namaste. How are you, ma'am?
Very good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah,
Doing a great job.
thank you.
Okay. So I just want to take this forward. Just want to introduce my daughter Madhuri,
Yes, ma'am.
and she, as far as we know, she's a very hardworking person, but I
Hmm.
don't know why she's not able to crack this final.
I
Uh,
understand,
she,
ma'am.
she's getting into a lot of anxiety and all that. I stumbled upon your site and then I just saw the video and all that.
I get
Quite
it.
satisfied. I'm also very worried because from Bangalore we have to, send her to another city for her to learn and things like that. So just thought to have a good conversation with you to understand how the process happens, how safe is my child, and then where is she lagging behind,
Yes,
and
yes,
things
yes.
like that. So you have
Hmm.
come as a survivor, a help, whatever I say, a guide or a mentor, you know. So I went through all your video, and usually I don't get satisfied quite quickly, but then after seeing that, I somewhere feel that she will be in safe hands. So I
Thank you
just
for that.
want you to let me know how this process happens, and then how my child can really get on, with this journey.
I get it, ma'am. So, let me start with addressing the simplest concern. Now, shifting her from Bangalore to Hyderabad. Probably, I think it's 7, 8 years ago, a similar conversation happened in our own family. It was about shifting my sister from Hyderabad to Bangalore, the other way around.
Okay.
I was working with EY at that point of time. I
Okay.
cleared my CA by that. I cleared at the age of 21 first attempt. So I did a lot of things, but at that point of time, it was in 2017. I was in
Okay.
EY. My dad is exactly like you, because I don't know her dad yet. So largely, even when he had to drop her to the coaching center,
Mm.
the class is for 3 hours. He used to wait for her in the car. He was a assistant divisional manager in LIC by that time. It
Okay.
was gross misutilization of somebody's time and resources, but he is who he is. So he
Yeah.
used to wait in that. That is how he brought her up. Even when I wanted to get her into CA, he was a bit hesitant in the sense that what if he doesn't clear? Like it just comes in what if, because engineering is a easier track and all of that, because both of
That's
us did.
right. So true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point of time, my solution was simple. I already did it. By the time she was entering into it, or midway, and I was clearing everything, not because of the first thing, because I was clearing it very effortlessly. So I can translate that to her. If I'm not there in this scenario, you should be worried. Otherwise, even while I was studying, my own roommates always get benefited. Like people just clear because I'm there. So this I can take care. I'll take care. You don't have to worry about this. Is one. Two, child accountancy at the core offers flexibility for women. All you need is flexibility. Some point if time you're pregnant, you want to take a break for a couple of years and then get
So
back to
true.
work, you can get back. You study in a regular, you work in a regular environment, and then you want to come back and do practice, you can do that. You move to a different country altogether. Probably US, you do CPA in 6 to 9 months, sorted. In most of the countries, CA is already accepted. We have MOAs and all. So that way, this is one course which would not need significant upgrade like engineering, where it starts with C, C plus, and C infinity.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
always have to, and unless you're extremely good, the low level jobs are pathetic in engineering. See, engineers get the highest pay all across the planet.
Yeah.
But when you do it with IIT plus MIT, and we have half a dozen IITs in the family, so it's there. But this is the reason why I pushed her into C. This is fine. And largely, her articleship was next door. Literally, we used to stay in Panjagutta. That is
Yes.
exactly how He managed until that point of time.
Yeah.
But at that point of time, I realized, okay, this is becoming a bit nonsensical because suddenly one fine day, if she sent him to some other family,
Mm.
she'll be, facing a difficulty because of her, not because of the potential in-laws or the husband. No? Because the way she is built, the way she is not trained, you're going underprepared for the war. It's like you are the commander and you have to send a battalion into that, and you're making them sit inside the office room, not getting them onto the field. That is bullshit. So basically, I confronted him and I took her from Hyderabad to Bangalore
Okay.
in 2015.
Okay.
Now that one change, now she's actually settled in Bangalore right now. She stays in Prestige Q Fields in Domlur.
Okay.
And she recently bought a flat in Prestige City, I guess, Sarjapur or something. I don't know, the new 200-acre thing.
Yeah.
So 2015, she moved out of Hyderabad, came to Bangalore, starting point, and now the last 10 years, she spent most of the time in Bangalore. She settled, has been married with a kid and all of that sorted fully. So at some point of time, you have to make a move. This is one. And two, talking about safety and all, like now we have women in Air Force, we have women in Navy, we have women all across, like people doing. Now we have one woman who got stuck in space. I think she's still in space. So when all of this is happening, when somebody says that I'm not sure if I have to send my daughter, from one state border to the other
No, I
state border.
understand. I understand your point. All said and done, but when it comes to your own child, then there is, a little bit of worry because, as you said, like your sister, I don't think she has even stayed a day away. So, one is that I'm happy that she took a decision of coming and studying with you. But yes, as a mother, I, slightly get worried as to how safe is the place. Is
No, no,
Sir going
ma'am,
to be
you have to
there?
understand this. See, without your worry, she's already worried. The kid is already worried. Now, as a mother, your role is to reduce the worry, not add on to that. Because sorry if I'm slightly crossing my line, but I think this is how it is going to be. Because when someone comes in, I treat them like family, like you're entering our family, and this is how I talk to my mom also. Because just because you're a mother, that automatically doesn't make you a good mentor all the time. Even I have a 4-year-old daughter now. I only can do so much with her. The rest of it, we have professionals. Like she goes to a school for 1 hour. It's a 1 hour school, but we respect the space. Now we have people coming all across from India to us, most of them from very well-reputed families. But even for a 3-year kid, 4-year kid, somebody says, okay, we follow a Montessori approach. I respect that. That's what it is. Now, in this case, clearly your concerns and fears are not helping because one, there are two ways of finding it out. One, you come down, you figure out, and you decide it's risky, keep her at home. Or you decide because you are wasting energy and fear based on assumptions where, let's say, you have to send her to Australia. Now it's fine because you can sit because it may not be practical for you to visit and spend some time there. Now this place is just a visit away, and then whatever is there, it's shown. It's clearly seen, shown, and everything is there. It just can't get better because you go to any other place in India, any education place, it's a black box. You don't know what is happening. No ad has students. All ads are models, not students. So when this is happening, this is the best it can get. It can't get beyond this. And you have to operate with this. And at some point of, I'm sure you have to send your daughter to some other home. And that's far more scary because it's a 25-year-old, like it's a 25, 30-year-old thing. I think you have far more worries. So right now, since she's already worried about exams, this is not which she should be having at the top of the head. Again, you might be right about your worry, but at least get there. Okay, outside world is not safe. My home is safe. So what will happen because of that is your anticipation will reduce. So you decide, okay, this is my scope. Because for me, I'll also add one more point. My daughter is autistic. She got diagnosed 1 year ago. Now I have infinite possibilities because there was a point where I was taking 25 to 30 flights in a month. Like I used to take the first flight and last flight, train top level faculties in ICI, and then come back. It was a glorious career. But when I came to know about this, I decided, okay, for me, for my daughter to be safe, I'll have to sit at home. I sit at home, whatever the world comes to my home. It is my definition. I'm very clear. There are many opportunities which I keep seeing in India and abroad, but no, this is my space. So now I'm not worried about what else might happen. Similarly, I want your family to arrive to that point where, okay, చేద్దామా వద్దా? If you believe that that home is the safest place, you'll have to start arriving at solution within home. Okay, even with the conversation, you should be like, okay, I'm very clear that I don't want to send my daughter. What can you do online? That becomes a starting point. Otherwise, what will happen is you don't know whether you're which worry you have to focus more. Is it a safety concern or it's intellectual concern? Like what is it? Clearing which is a bigger risk, sending her out of home or not getting the certificate, which is a bigger risk. You cannot optimize for everything, man. So that is my concern. So yeah, to begin with, I can do two, three things. One, you're welcome to come down, even beyond the decision, beyond the discussion. You can welcome to come down, check and explore the place for yourself, find out. Two, you can talk to any of the daughters or any of the kids here or any of the parents. You can talk to moms or dad. That you can have a conversation there. Even if you want to meet someone, I think right now Soundari is in Bangalore. Yeah, I have someone from Bangalore. Her father is chartered accountant. They also probably she just came back to Bangalore. Probably can have a conversation. I can connect you. That is also there. So this should not significantly impact the decision because it's unnecessary ancillary thing. This is not linked to your scores. This is not
Okay.
linked to your cognition. This is not linked to your career. It's an unnecessary fear which has to be removed or retained. Not. I hope I'm clear regarding this. I hope it is making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So do you have anything else in this lines which is not linked to the subject? Anything else? Any other concern like this before we get started?
Um,
You have
anything?
something?
No, you can go ahead, sir.
Okay, okay. So, ma'am, now for me, let me be clear. Okay, one is mothers normally have the safety and security concern. I'll address it before we actually get into.
Yeah.
Fathers will have an investment concern, like because when I say father, probably in some cases it's other way around, but largely now one is this is a safe place,
Yeah.
and this would require significant investment. It requires decent investment because you know the value of what we are going to add. So both are given. I'm saying this is safe, and this actually requires investment. So this is a sensible thing to happen because unless we ensure safety, you won't come. Unless we have some level of investment coming into the family, we cannot take care of your daughter like the way we should. So both the ways are sorted. Now,
Yeah.
beginning with the safety part, normally investment part will get to the end. In between, we'll discuss about how we can add those two letters. I think largely this is how the conversation goes.
Yeah.
Is it fine?
Yes,
Fine,
yeah.
fine,
Good.
Okay,
definitely.
fair. And quickly, I want to understand your expectations from this call. I know that Manju has updated me that it has been a while since we are postponing it, so apologies for that. So, but since we are already here, what are your expectations from this? Because you already know what is happening through YouTube videos. Over and above, what is it you want to know from this call, from each of you?
Like as far as I know my preparation, I need somebody to assist my preparations.
I get it.
That is one major thing. And second, I just need that push saying, okay, this is what it is. You have to do this
Do
much.
this.
That
Right.
direction, it's like I don't have a direction.
I
And
understand.
whatever, paperwork I'm doing with timetables, I don't see it being very effective.
I get it. Yeah. So
So,
you want to understand whether this ecosystem offers you a clear-cut direction so that you can follow. You're willing to surrender, you're willing to follow, but you need someone whom you can trust and
yes,
something which will work, right?
correct.
That is from your end.
Yes.
Yes, cool.
Yes.
Apart from the safety part, what else is your expectation in the process?
Food and all that. Food, should she have to go out, sir, for food and all that?
Nothing. It's not even a discussing point, ma'am. In the sense that everything is taken care. Like
Take it.
the way we is, she'll eat what we eat. She'll stay where we stay. The reason
Yeah.
is because this when before we start anything as a project, uh, we look at what are the FAQs. Now these are all FAQs. So we have in-house cooks. Like for each flat, we have food is cooked within, served hot. That's it. So hygienic, healthy, tasty. So that is sorted. So whatever is in home is already there.
Oh.
What is additional is in home you cannot study. This is home plus something else. So that we retain the basics. That's why it's expensive. Like for us to maintain a hostel, it's cheap for both of us. Since we have to retain it like a home,
Oh.
so that you don't have to worry about it. Because the whole idea is when you are doing the most important, I don't think there is some other year which is far more important than this for Madhuri. Because once you clear CA, there is no further promotion. Probably moving salary from 10 to 12 lakhs is a different thing. Like getting married and kid are part of the process. Now this may or may not happen. If this won't happen, it will impact every stage of your life for the next 30 years and also the lifestyle of the parents also. So it creates a significant difference in the family. So as we're about to enter into this, all the ancillaries are sorted, ma'am. Medicine, my wife is a doctor. Like some medical problem happens. One first aid is available within the same floor. And then moving ahead, we have all the hospitals in just 1 hour. I would say not 1 hour. I would call it what 10 minutes largely. Like we have in the vicinity of 1 kilometer. Yeah. Within a 1 kilometer vicinity, we have three hospitals. Everything is sorted, and it's got it with 30, 40 people. So the answers are sorted because there are many moms who ask this question multiple times, so that is sorted. Now,
Oh.
talking about the career or mentorship, do you have any questions now?
Yes.
Talking about the process, yeah.
Yes. So now that suppose if she joins you, and then yeah, you must be having a definite timetable and things like that. So will there be a day-to-day guidance, and how this program will get sorted? Like she has to do some work and then come to you, or then she's given a timetable, work accordingly, and then is there some sort of exercise where she can practice in the morning? Do you have something like that?
Okay, so all these
Any
questions,
particular mentor,
yes, yes,
one
yes.
or two mentors for some, three or four child. So wherever they are stuck, if there's someone
Hmm.
to help them
Hmm.
out. I know that you cannot come to every child and ask for it, but yes, is there someone who can help her in day to day? So such things.
No, I actually do that. That is the only thing I do
Mm.
because the way we work is one is our startup is very simple. There are two things. One is closing, the other one is clearing. When I say closing, can we close the deal? Only when we close the deal, I should be worried about Madhuri. Otherwise, when we have only 11 member cohort, first I have to pay some attention in terms of what are the kind of families I'm getting into the sector because one wrong player can collapse the whole team.
That's true.
So I don't want to have the error of inclusion. No,
Correct.
I'm fine with error of omission. So that's why we're not very, I would say, concerned about the calls which we miss or the applications which we don't process because error of inclusion is the biggest worry for us. That's why I'm sitting in the call personally. This is one. And next is clearing. Once you're here, all I do is I have to make you clear. And for this to happen, I don't have anything on the agenda. Operations are automated. Now,
Okay.
admissions, it's simple. We don't have year-long admissions. It's like in the whole year, it's hardly 1, 2 months admissions. And payments also, we collect everything upfront. We collect payments upfront and we give payments upfront. So I don't have anything else except to sit and solve two aspects. One is the psychological aspect because that has to be done on a personal. I will work like a psychologist. That is one. Second is the numbers because now what we do technically is we work like a scientist. You're giving money, your child is giving minutes. Money will be converted into marks. Minutes will be converted into marks. That's it. These are the two equations which we largely focus. So that is a fair expectation on your part because that is what you actually do. Because I sit with the kids. And when it comes to the offline cohort, we only have 11 people. So it's like a team because worldwide, whether it's Australia or Argentina, a coach can only manage 11 people. That's what I understood actually because we don't have batches. Batches are like useless. Like it's like a mass-based behavior where you don't care about who learns what. You just want to expand the size of your business, not quality or the depth of the insight which you share with people. If you look at any sport, largely it's 11 people plus 3 to 4 extra students will be there largely. So that's why we stick to that. My current ability is 11. My dream ability is 100. At some point of time, I should be able to get to 100 where I give one to attention to that. That takes some time in my mind. So that's the idealistic scenario, but right now it's 11. Okay. So I think this will, by default, address the concern because when there are only 11 people, you can always, I can literally create structures in my mind about each and every student. I have it. So that is how it operates. So any quick questions from your side before we dig
Okay.
deeper?
Don't have.
No, no,
As per the
I'm
cost.
okay. I'm done with this thing. So
What will be the cost of the course?
I'll get to that at the end, sir. Basically, what I'll do is I'll show you a 15, 20 minute presentation,
Hmm.
which will further resolve your queries. And
Oh,
once we are done with that, I'll help you understand the investment and we'll take care.
okay.
Hmm?
Okay.
So now I'm sharing the screen.
yeah,
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 sure.
please.
Yeah, cool. Is the screen visible, Madhuri?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. So I think this is your starting point, right?
Yes.
Number one, if I have to look at this, now we want, I would say, plus 25, plus 25, plus 20. which takes us to around 70 marks and a safer note. So 50 to 70 is what I have to get. Let's look at 60 as an average. We have to add 60 marks here, right?
Mm.
And for us to do this plus 20 will happen very fast. And also, this is a consequence of this and this. You cannot directly do anything. You do this properly and you handle the 1.5 day properly before the exam, and that 4 hours you do it, it will happen. So let's not worry about this part. Okay, this is clear. Now, how do you add this
Yes.
and this? Now, if you look at direct taxation, now something like PGBP, TDS, TCS, assessment procedures, charitable institutions. If you have these 4 chapters, they alone will give you 30 marks. Now, the problem is
These are
PGP is all about the minuscule adjustments.
adjustments. Yes, sir.
Now, if you do it section wise or concept wise or problem wise, it'll take forever.
Correct.
Now, what we do here is we'll take all the adjustments. We'll pick up all the 100 plus adjustments from different sources. So
Okay.
one day you'll sit and do only adjustments,
Okay.
all adjustments together. Because the rest of the thing is something which you already know in intermediate. What you don't know is adjustments. So directly
Okay.
get to the point, know what you don't know. But instead of
Okay.
that, if you revolve around the bush or beat around the bush, and then by the time you get to the main point, it's useless. It's like a senseless conversation. So that way, I'm just giving you one example. So that way, there are ways in which we can simply accelerate, that initial score.
Correct.
If you do this properly, automatically this itself will add almost plus 10 marks to your score. Only by doing this for 3 days, you'll see this score. So not every time it is possible, but there is a chunk. Now this is one chunk. The other one is international taxation. You do that international taxation chapters properly, another 10 marks. So when I say 25, it can be coming from 2 pockets, which will take 7 to 10 days. So for you to move from this score to this score, you can see
Okay.
that significant improvement in 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
Now, normally, even if you put in 70 to 100 days, you won't get this because the direction is not there. Now, when you have to move from point A to point B, speed is a separate thing. The most
Sir, and
important thing is
also,
direction.
see, if I take PGBP, I say I take 3 days, I'm studying it, and then again revising that is another big thing because it's so huge. I'm not able to revise that entire thing.
See, at the first level, when you look at the first level, when you get it right, the revision makes sense only when you get the original thing right.
Okay.
So, what's the point in revising what is not originally right?
Okay. Correct.
So, I'm talking about the base.
Correct.
Now,
Correct.
revision is a secondary problem, right? You're assuming that you understood the concept quite well, or you're getting the basics right in the
Yes.
first shot.
Yes.
But the other problem there is uh, many a time you complete the portion through books or videos, but
Correct.
the learning won't happen the way it should happen.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
can only revise what you know. Revision cannot add on what you don't know.
Yes.
So there is a initial step here, largely now taken care by Hari, who will, work upon the specific aspects of PGBP with you.
Okay.
So which will help you understand and improve your base level understanding of PGBP as such.
Okay.
So once you know, once the base is improved, then you can revisit it and improve your quality. So the base has to be fixed. If you don't do that, no
Okay.
matter how many times you do that, it just keep going into the same direction.
Correct.
Okay. So this
Yes.
is a quick example of what can be done.
Okay.
Similarly, something like if you look at uh, GST, place of supply, time of supply, value of supply. This component is very important. This is hard. ITC. There are certain topics which can directly get to the point, directly get to the type of questions which are asked, directly get to the amendments which are relatively important, and you improve the bulk. You should be quickly seeing a significant shift in your score. That's what you focus on. That is when you realize that okay, my score is improving. Otherwise, you doing it in the same dramatic motion by spinning it over and over, it won't go anywhere.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Sir, this I had given only group 2.
Yeah, I get
Group
it.
1 is also there, sir.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
that
and
also, I feel ki FR is very lengthy.
Mhm.
But
Hmm.
in XFAR, though, this consolidation and business combination, it's like one scary chapter,
Hmm.
these
Hmm.
two.
Hmm.
So that how, how to do that?
Okay. For example, I think you have been speaking to Manju, or do you know about someone called Manju?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
seen the videos.
Okay. So this is her mark sheet.
Okay.
Now, how did we do this? Now, 59 in FR,
Okay.
79 in ASM,
Okay.
47 in audit.
Okay.
Here, they're just around the corner.
Okay.
So this is exactly on the border, because normally when you're writing both the groups, we have something called primary group. Primary group is like, no matter what happens, you will clear this group.
Okay.
Secondary group is the riskier one. Now, you might clear or you might fail. So
Okay.
normally what happens is people get 130 here and 130 here, which is absolutely disastrous, because after getting 260 without clearing one group. Instead, what we do is get 150 here and get 100 here.
Okay.
So we divide the risk like that. So there is always a primary group, secondary group. Now, probably in your case, group two would be a primary group. And I
Okay.
told you we are going with a target of 170, because that gives you cushion to get to the average. Now here she scored 185. So here group two might be a primary group. I think largely we can get to that 170 plus, right?
Yes, sir.
Now now when you see this can happen, no, in group two.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what should be done for group one? Let's say you did not take coach. See, I'll tell you. Even if you're taken coaching, now it's always convenient to say that I did not take coaching. Even if you're taking coaching,
Coaching is done.
yeah. So coaching is done or something else is done, it would not change anything. Now, even if you say that you did not take coaching also, it would not impact anything, because presence and absence of coaching has no correlation with clearing. Coaching is a passive job where you sit and listen to someone. Now, clearing is a very active job. Like the whole of India takes coaching. What is the big deal about it? It's like watching OTT. Now,
Okay.
the real challenge is to go and apply that in the exam condition.
Okay.
So I would say this coaching is necessary but not sufficient. So we are not largely concerned about how where you took it and how you took it, all of that. That won't change anything. Just
Okay.
because you finish coaching three times also you cannot clear. I know you know a lot of people
Yes, yes.
who went through that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here when you look at financial reporting, the first thing is if you see chapters like business combination,
Yes. Consult.
CF, CFS, this two together plus financial instruments plus India's 115.
And 116.
So this bracket alone will give you 40 marks, just like I told you a DT bracket. Now everybody knows this, but the point is, how do you solve it? Now
Yes.
for this, we create templates.
Okay.
For example, when you have to create a balance sheet. Now the first thing is you need to have a macro template, assets, liabilities. Within assets, what do I do? Now when you're creating, for example, even consolidation, if you are for business combination for that matter, the simplest way is to combine two balance sheets. Now, when you're combining two line items, probably if you have to combine assets, it's largely straightforward. You just combine.
Yeah.
Probably when you have to combine inventory, and if there are intercompany transactions, then you have to, it becomes a complex thing. So
Yes.
at a framework level, you already should know, without even looking into the question, what are the potential complications. So inventory is a complicated thing when things get collided, things get combined. So we help you create fundamental frameworks so you know what to do without worrying about a specific question.
Okay.
Because uh, it's stupid for us to rely on the difficulty of the question paper.
Correct.
The difficulty of question paper should not largely matter. You should anyways clear once you enter. It's like a good batsman should not worry about the pitch and the bowler, right? You should just go ahead and clear. Just go ahead and play. So that way, the templates will help you get to the basic part. So we
Okay.
first focus on helping you cross 40. This is the first aspect. Here, here, here. So this will happen very fast. In 1 month time, you can get to this.
Okay.
So once you get to 40, the base is done. And depending on your comfort level, one of this, because see, at a simple level, we follow a 40, 50, 60. So let's say you
Okay.
have a paper which is very weak, just get 40. You're good with something, go and get 60, and a decent midway paper 50. So which is 60, which is 40? Normally audit is a 40 paper, normally. And AFM people try to get 60. This time it's difficult, but otherwise it's 60. Like we saw what Manju has got. And otherwise FM you can get 50. So we go with a very simple and realistic target because it's hard to get 60 in audit, but it is reasonably easy to get 60 in FR. So between FR and AFM, now FR, the advantage is format based. FR paper cannot get very difficult.
Okay.
The range of the paper is only this much. AFM can be this and this. If they decide, they can give you 80, or they can make it hard for it to touch 40 also. Whereas FR largely you can operate in the 50 range. No matter what, time won't be sufficient for it to go and get 80 in most of the cases. So this approach, when you follow, you don't have to worry about you not knowing audit or not remembering the key terms and all. Okay, let me get 40, 45 audit. Since I find FR far more comfortable or AFM far more comfortable, let me focus more on this. So largely, this is exactly how the scenario or the process happens.
Okay.
Okay, so this I'm just giving you some good quick insights. If you look at I don't know this, it's not going to help, right? Now, what are you trying to say to IC? I don't know. I say like, okay, take as much as time as you need and get to know. The option is not to know, right? You have to get to know. Now, when you understand that you have to go and get to know something, well, you figure out what is the fastest and the most efficient way to get to know. Now, here also we look at it in two segments. One is in terms of weightage, there is a particular priority in terms of how you have to operate. The other one in terms of simplicity. Let's say ethics and technology. You can quickly pick up those 5 marks. Or India's and assets. You can get those leaving 116. You can get those 15 marks quickly. So there are low hanging fruits which you can pick up. Now, startup finance, mergers, corporate structuring. So all corporate valuation, all of this are easier low hanging fruits which you can just pick up. All the first two chapters, including advanced capital, risk management, and all. So this together, 1, 2, 3, and 13, 14, 15 will give you more than 30 marks. So you can quickly pick up those 15 marks from there. So it's all about going with a strategy of trying to understand how you can clear instead of sitting and worrying about it continuously thinking, because how is it going to help? Now, if you believe that it's hard, I cannot learn, I cannot know, it's like interview. Assume this exam is like interview, written interview. Now, when you go into interview, what is the nature? The interview is for the other person to know what you know. Instead, if you are heavily focused on telling them you don't know or what you don't know, what's the point? Everybody knows that you don't know something. But what is it you know should be good enough to cross 50. That's why you have to get only 50, not 100. In school, you're expected to know everything in 10th. Then the expectation is different. Here, you're expected to know only so much. So that way, you have to go with an approach where first of all, you should be convinced that you should be a CA material. Like if the 3 people in your home are not convinced that you should become a CA, how would that random guy in ICA become? Right? So it has to start there. It has to start there largely in terms of the psychological aspect also. When you come across and pitch, let's say you watch something like Shark Tank. Now, what does it matter? People go and pitch like we do this, we do this, we do this. Now, if you go and start complaining and cribbing about what cannot be done, they're like, why are you wasting my time? When you go into the exam, every exam is an opportunity. When they give you that pages, you should be able to communicate more than the subject. You should be able to tell them clearly that, okay, this is how I have prepared for the last 3 months, last 6 months, and I deserve to get 40, and I deserve to get 60. This is exactly how you have to largely operate. Okay, so the numbers which I have told you, 40, 50, 60 is clearly possible in a month's time. So in probably 2.5, 3 months, you will be crossing 250, 260 easily.
Okay.
So that's the target. The earlier the better. That's why. Now this can, if you're coming in January, it becomes March, which is scary. If you're coming in November, it becomes January, which is good. By the time people start their preparation, you'll get to a very sweet spot. So it all matters to how early you start and how fast you can get to a comfortable position from where you can see the result clearly. Otherwise, if you see it too far towards the exam, it's not visible because stress blinds you. Whether positive or negative, you get blinded. You cannot do anything. So that's why you have to, start early, reach safely. That's right. The whole thing. Okay. Now this is exactly about the subject part. Now, in terms of schedule, which your mom was asking, this is an illustrative schedule. Now, what comes to you gets very personalized. So if you see, first and foremost, we'll say, let's invest 10 days. covers 70 marks in denominator,
Okay. Cross 45.
45 in the numerator. Now, for this to happen, these are the set of techniques which you have to follow.
Okay.
So, this is called index mapping exercise and game optimization. We'll give all the details of the techniques once you're here. But largely using these assignments and techniques, you have to get 45. For that, you have 100 hours, 10 hours per day. In 100 hours, you should be able to get to 45. Now, normally in coaching, the 100 hours is used to complete videos, which don't even have the denominator of 45. Forget about numerator. That 45 won't be covered in denominator also.
Correct.
Madhuri, I just need to take this call. Just a second.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, Manvita. Yes, Manvita. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Can we do it at 9:15? 9:15 should be fine. Okay, I'll share the Zoom link. Is the father also available? Sure, please. We'll start at 9:15. Okay, I'll share you the Zoom link. Done. Done. Okay, Manvita. Yeah, sure. Okay, Manvita is also from Chennai. She's also considering both the groups. So I'll have the next call with her. So in terms of this, right? So we go with a clear-cut strategy where we decide that let's focus on getting 45, not completing the books or doing. See, the objective has to be very clear. We only focus on numerator. For that numerator to happen, what is the denominator which we look at?
Okay.
So the first 70 marks is predictable. Indices and assets, 15, 20 marks. Disclosure related standards, 10 marks. And ethics and technology, and all of that, another 5 marks. So there are certain things which you can definitely get. So what are the 70 marks out of which you can probably score 40? If not 40, you'll end up at 30. But still, that's great. In 10 days, if we go to 30, that is all, like, whatever it is. Let's not too stuck in numbers. Now, the point is that the objective and the approach is to do this. Now, audit, we want to complete the whole syllabus very fast at an overview level and try to get to 40. AFM one cycle is enough to get to 50. DT again, because both DT and FR is vast, we're looking at only completing 70. Remaining, we're trying to complete 100, and because one is a numerator game, one is a denominator game. In topics like audit, there is no one chapter which will give you 25 marks. So you have to cover 19 chapters. When you say 19 chapters, the average is around 5 marks per chapter, average. Again, not all chapters give you that. But in AFM, all there are 15 chapters. There are certain chapters which give you an average of 10 plus marks. So there are 5 chapters which will give you 50 marks. Depending on the nature of the subject, depending on the kind of game you can play, you have to strategize. So for AFM and IDT, we can complete everything in a single cycle. So this is how. Now here, we are completing the syllabus in 100 hours per subject, right? And then we are revising it in 50 hours. Now, when you ask me in subsequent revision, only when you do the 100 hours properly, the 50 hours makes sense. Now, original 100 hours, if it's not done properly, this is waste of time. And once you revise this 50 hours, once again, you'll revise it in 20 hours. So every subject, you're revising at least thrice in the macro cycles. Now, micro cycles are different. Now, whenever we get time, we will make you quickly go through it in one day and make you surprises and all of that. That will happen. But macro level, you're doing 3 proper cycles for each and every subject.
Okay.
So that way, there's nothing you can miss.
Okay.
Okay, so at every point of time, we have individual subject-wise targets, we have group-wise targets. So this is exactly how we operate, approach, and this is exactly how we operate.
Okay.
Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in terms of marks, as I told you, not all the papers will get you the same marks. So it's okay to get 48 here and 60 here, 44 here and 66 here. So largely, in terms of what is a strong subject and weak subject, we'll divide your energies accordingly. Because for some of the papers like this, no matter what you do, 43 and 74 can come with the same effort.
Correct.
Even if you look at the average, see, 1 mark in DT is equal to 1 mark in your paper 6. So when you talk about it, 44 versus 66, it takes the same amount or even lesser effort for 66, 68.
Correct.
So you have to organize that energy properly instead of doing it blindly. Let's say it takes you 20 hours to move from 43 to 46. The same 20 hours you invested here, it will go from 56 to 74.
Right.
So that's how we focus on using our resources. Okay. And in general, the exam strategies, uh, first 1 hour, you have to attempt 40 marks and then target at least 24.
Mhm.
Second 1 hour, attempt another 40 marks, and you have to pass in the 2 hours because we make you practice 2 hour exams here because people complain about time.
Mm.
So see, just because you stay for 100 balls in the crease, you may or may not be able to say a century. So we focus on hitting a century. Now we are not talking about 3 hours. That is a different story. How do you get to 40 marks at the fastest, which is 2 hours? So here we make you practice exams in just 2 hours. In 2 hours, you should be able to. If you notice our videos, we follow an approach. First, start with question number 6 or 5, then pick up one more
Then
question, then pick up MCQ. So
we
there is a structure, there is a process because we're heavily focused on this.
okay.
Because nobody else has to do it because they're not accountable. When you pay, let's say, when you pay 10,000 for a subject or 1 lakh for the entire coaching, all they have to is sell you something. It's a product. Now, whether it's a recorded class or live class, both are products. They're substitute to books. They don't have accountability. They don't even have to care about how much you know. But here, when we operate in this segment, it is important for us to give you outcomes. Now, outcomes are possible only when you have a mechanism to track them, because what cannot be tracked cannot be improved. So, right from the point you joined, we're heavily focused on tracking your progress, which is a number game. So, whatever might happen, you should get 40 in 2 hours.
Okay.
Let's say you are underprepared, you stop there. 2 hours, 40, decent, because there's one paper which you should pass for sure. Now, in some other paper, you are very well prepared. Last 1 hour, add another 20, it'll get to the exemption.
Correct.
So this is exactly how we operate. So either stopping at 40 is also fine, getting to 60 is also fine. So depending on the subject and the paper, you will get there.
Okay.
And similarly, there is some component of syllabus which you end up revising 5 times, and there are some things which you revise at least twice is something which you'll revise for all the topics. Now, this is a very important aspect. Like when you talk about the memory at the beginning, the revision part, whatever you study out of 100%, only 34% is retained, which means 60% is transition loss. Now, every day you study, 60% gets wasted. If you do not do anything, it's like trying to carry water in a bucket with holes on all sides.
Okay.
So that is not going to help you largely.
Mm.
So it is important for us to work on these aspects where I'll tell you how we'll solve it. But remember, more than 60% is lost in a day, more than 70% is lost in a week, which means there's nothing left. Whatever you study, you're forgetting. So it's like running on a treadmill, or more important, it's like carrying an ice block in your hand. You're trying to carry ice block to the exam center. By the time you go there, it's melted.
Mm.
So you have to create a mechanism where it can be refrigerated. It's not your problem. It's not your hand which is the problem. It is the nature of ice. So it is not your memory. It is the nature of information. For you to retain that information, you have to refrigerate it, which is an external condition which doesn't happen normally. For you to remember something, remembering is not a natural mechanism for humans. There are only specific things which humans want to remember. Otherwise, it's not a very natural mechanism.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
And the problem which I told you, this is the solution. When I
Okay.
say when you forget more than
60%.
66%, 60% of what you study, this is the solution. Like every 50 minutes, revise for 5 minutes. Every noon, like by the end of the 5, 6 hours before lunch, we make you write MDR. End of the day, we make you write DER. The moment you wake up in the morning, the first 10 minutes, you'll write whatever you studied the previous day. Your day starts with previous day, recall. And Saturday, there will be cumulative revision plus exam. So this way, 5 times you're revising. Without all these 5 times together will not take you 1 hour. Less than 1 hour, you're revising 5 times. If you do not revise 5 times within this time frame, even if you put 5 hours subsequently, it's still futile because you would have lost it. It's like when the water is already leaked, even if you fix the gaps, what will happen? So that's why doing it at the right time is important. This is about memory. Now, this is about emotions, feelings, and all of it. Largely, we call it dose: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. I'll give you one example. Like people require dopamine. All of us require dopamine. Now, dopamine, if it's naturally available, when you complete a task, it will be released. When you do something meaningful, productive, you'll feel good. Dopamine is natural. Now, current generation does not do anything. They don't have anything to complete, or they don't have any sense of gratification. So they rely on Instagram. Instagram gives instant gratification because they are not doing anything concrete, which is a process of achievement. They have to rely on this. But then, let's say I spoke to 10 families today. Now, when I go to bed at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., whatever time it is, it's satisfying. If I don't do any of this, if I pick up Instagram, even if I watch 100 reels, still it doesn't equate to this. So here, what we do is, when you wake up at 5 o'clock and you study from 6 to 9, by 9 a.m., you'll feel a sense of completion. You feel like looking forward to have breakfast. That is when your morning becomes good. Only when you wake up, do some work, get some outcome, that's when morning becomes good. Just because you say good morning, it is not going to be good morning. It's just another morning. So each and every aspect, helping others as when you study as a team, and exercising, because here we have a yoga session at 5:30 every day. And this mindfulness meditation, there will be periodic meditation sessions, so all of this will happen naturally, where you don't have to crave for this on external sources, or especially social media and all of that. It naturally gets released within, and that makes you emotionally healthy and happy. And this is important because when you started with fears, now the initial concerns, am I safe, or is my daughter safe, or can I clear, all of this is limbic brain, which is actually done in something called amygdala. Okay, this amygdala is a limbic brain. So this always worries about uh, fears, the perception fears and all. Now, prefrontal cortex is the cognition part. This is emotion, this is cognition. So what we do is we'll completely shift your focus, because emotions will make you trigger like this. Cognition will keep you balanced. So if you look at all these activities, everything you need to clear, everything you need to become a chartered accountant is linked to cognition. But unfortunately, we spend most of the time worrying about emotions, which won't do anything in this preparation. Probably in some exams and some interviews, maybe as emotion play a role, but not right now in this. And especially if I have to say this, fear, anger, sadness, happiness, and all of this, this is good for Bollywood or Hollywood or Tollywood, whatever wood it is. So, or Collywood. Now, this is dramatic. Now, why do you need drama in exams? What you need is this. You have to be peaceful and reasonably optimistic that you can clear. You don't have to be over motivated. You just have to be reasonably optimistic that I may clear. I'm doing well. That's it. All of these are useless, unnecessary emotions. Yeah. What is fear? It's just stupidity. Now, you're not going to a war. You're not going to get killed. With CS students died while studying. Now, if you ask me how many Jawans died, I can give a number. Now, who died while studying? Nobody dies, right? When you're not going to die, what is there to be worried about? If someone is like such chicken little that I'm scared, I'm scared, I don't think they should be becoming a chartered accountant. I don't think they should lead the nation. It's very clear. As a senior member, or as your alumni, I want the right set of people coming in. If somebody cannot even write a bloody exam, now what will they do representing income tax, and what will they do, fighting the tax evaders? What can they do? Because nothing will change, right? The moment you get 300, you'll be given a certificate. There is no, because in civil services, after you crack interview, there is something called Bharat Darshan, where there is a training of 1.5 year, where you're expected to grow your personality. In CA, you clear, you join a job, you join practice. There's nothing else which happens significantly. So who you are will be who you will be even after clearing CA, except the fear of exam going on. So it is sensible for you to understand most of the emotions are needless and useless. Instead, you just focus on this. Your ability not to be emotional is called emotional intelligence. Emotional foolishness is different from emotional intelligence, right? So this is exactly what will help you understand naturally, where you do not have to go through the same emotion. Result comes once, people fail every day. Like you don't have to fail every day. That it's done. It's a fact. Failure is a fact. Don't convert it to emotion. So this will save a ridiculous amount of mental energy, and it will add a lot of peace, because unless you become peaceful, you cannot be productive. So this is how we kind of work with the students. In terms of technique, there are multiple techniques called box building technique, focus blocks, all of this you'll get an understanding. Any subject you'll cover in a maximum of 15 to 17 days. Revision cycles I already told you, apart from this 50 hour, 20 hour. Exam presentation, we look at it like 3 1 hour exam. 1 hour exam cross 20, second hour cross 40, third hour try to get 60. So this is exactly how the exam is structured. And what is different about us, time and energy, it is available most of the places. But unless you have attention makes time utilizable. So without attention, time utilization is not done. You only have availability, not utilization. The attention adds utilization to time. And everywhere else, their attention sucker. The whole world sucks your attention. Now here at HLS, we'll add attention to your life by removing distractions. Anything else you do, they suck your attention. So without attention, you cannot do anything. So that's why you can also understand or convert it as focus, concentration, something like that. Okay. So this is about the attention part. And eventually, at some point of time, we'll say that all you need to clear this exam is a pen.
Correct.
You need a pen to clear the exam, nothing else. How do you clear CA? Just a pen, right? How would a soldier win a battle? A sword. How would a shooter win an Olympic medal? A gun, right? This is exactly how would a cricketer become world class? A bat. That's it. Nothing else. You just have a bat. That's it. So this is how we should eventually get. This is how you should become so capable. Clear? Yeah. And finally, this is the whole scenario. Now, when people come to us, the first and foremost thing we should focus on clearing CA in 1 attempt or 1 year. Why 1 year? There's some working people. They want to write group wise. There's some people who want to join us from Dubai. They want to largely work online. Once in a month, they want to come down and visit us, something like that. They have different challenges. Young mothers who cannot move. So 1 attempt or 1 year, maximum 1 year. If you're writing group wise, otherwise 1 attempt is fine. This is one. The moment you clear, you should start making 1 lakh a month and eventually get to a point of 10 crore. Why 10 crore? Earlier we had something like Kaun Banega Crorepati. Now 1 crore is not enough to buy a 2 BHK, whether in Hyderabad or Bangalore. 1 crore is nothing. So to get to a reasonable, decent quality lifestyle, 10 CR in a span of 10 to 12 years. Okay, you look at 10 to 12 years, you should be able to move in the direction. Not because of your salary, but you invest into something. Let's say you bought gold today at 70K, that will become 1 lakh in some time. So your investments and all of this will naturally grow, and that's a number which you should look at. And in terms of the opportunity cost, right now it's around 12 lakhs. 1 attempt you're losing 6 lakhs. So the cost of failure is not 3,700 or 4,000 which you pay to ICA. It is 6 lakhs which you're losing. So now when you join us, we are working on a 6 lakh assignment already. It's an opportunity cost. Apart from the investment, this is an opportunity cost. Had you cleared in this November, you would have already made 6 lakhs. Had you cleared in, like this is exactly how, had you cleared in May itself, you would have already made more than that. So you have to operate with sense of urgency and seriousness. Otherwise, if you want to think about like a simple studying thing, as if you don't have value for your time and money, you'll never clear. Only when something becomes valuable, you'll act very differently. If you think something is gold, you keep it inside the locker. If it's look at something like steel, you treat it in a certain way. So for your time, treat your time like gold. Stop treating it as if it is plastic or available freely, right? So this is the significant change. And when you said that 10 CR thing, this is how it is. When you start in the year one with around 9 lakhs standard package, 10%. By the time of your retirement, your corpus becomes just only salary without even looking at investment. That's why I said 10 to 12 years is enough to get to that point if you manage things properly and carefully. And finally, have you heard of ISB? ISB, okay. So it's called Indian School of Business. Have you heard of Harvard Business School? HBS, Harvard Business School. Okay. Now, Harvard charges around 1.5 CR for 1 year for some other courses. Our ISB charges 50 lakhs. Now, why are these colleges charging 50 lakhs or 1 CR for 1 year? Why do you think they're charging so much?
Reputation.
Why would people invest?
Brand.
Brand value.
Yeah, right, sir. That reputation is there, brand value there. But let's say you have to invest 50 lakhs. What will be your expectation? If you have to go and join ISB, what will be your expectation?
I should get double of that.
Absolutely great. Yes. Once you invest this, The starting pay packet is 35 lakhs.
Hmm.
Now I have a friend who joined SEBI at 14
Okay.
after clearing CA.
Mhm.
And then he worked for a couple of years and moved to ISB. At that point of time, the fees was around 34 lakhs. Now it's 50. And after 1 year, he started with a salary of around 26 lakhs. Within 1 year time, it moved to 35 lakhs.
Mhm.
And now it's even more. He was able to recover whatever invested within 12 to 18 months. That's it. Now his salary has moved from 14 to 40.
Mhm.
Normally, which will take forever. He was able to do it in 3 to 5 years. That's it. Otherwise, it will take a very long period. Probably some people will never get there.
Mhm.
So these are accelerating points.
Mhm.
Now, is this making sense?
Yeah.
Now, largely, this is chosen by people who want money, not who have money.
Correct.
When you have 50 lakhs, you need not do this. When you want to have 50 lakhs, that's when a certain class of people, largely the middle class, upper middle class, take loans and get there. So this is the upgradation. Now, when you look at any field which you want to make money, there involves a significant level of investment. Now, luckily, unlike medicine, you know that management quota seat costs you 2 crore.
Okay.
So luckily, we don't have all of that because in CA, all of that is not required
Mhm.
and there is no chance. You have to do with merit.
Mhm.
So in this scenario, when you have a fantastic opportunity to just finish, the course by putting in just 6 months,
Mhm.
nothing should stop you from doing it. Or to understand this clearly, let's say if you have to clear in May 25, how will you change? Just imagine that you are cleared in May 25. Let's say we have this tag called CA Madhuri. So how will your life change if you clear in May 25?
Lifestyle itself will change.
What all changes will come? Tell me 3 things which will change for you.
Status,
Hmm.
prestige,
Hmm.
uh, class,
Hmm.
um, everything up to
Yeah.
me also everything will change.
So that's almost everything about your life, right? Is there anything else which can happen in 6 months which can bring this kind of change,
No,
right?
this is the degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So for your parents, ma'am, what would change for you as parents if she cleared CA in May 25? What do you think will change for you, for both of you?
For me, I'll have a greater satisfaction.
Hmm.
Probably, one is that, I don't have to worry about all through my life that she
Yes.
feels, a CA is something that doesn't require like engineering to keep themselves updated. So until she's
Yes.
70 years old, she can practice and,
Hmm.
keep herself, financially fit.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that was there in
Yes.
my mind. That's why, I mean, she was also more inclined, and I also said yes only because of this.
I get it. So largely, I think for a family also, it's some life-changing insight if you can clear in
Yeah.
the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So do you think you want to prioritize this as a single most important thing for all three of you in the next 6 months? Do you want to do that?
Exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we have come all the way, reaching you, trying to find
I
best
understand.
from the best, and then
Yes, ma'am. So even from our side, we have something like Him11. So where we pick up best of the people with best of the intent. Because caliber, I cannot say right now. We'll build it. Now, if you look at Ramaya or Fitji, they'll pick up filtered candidates who are already exceptionally good and get them ranks. Now we focus on the other end, where people with failures, we trust them, we'll treat them like future CS. We build abilities. We don't look for people with abilities, people who have intent, who are struggling. So this is where we come into the picture like nowhere else in India, because most of the people who come to us are repeaters, like people with, I would say, 10 attempts, 12 attempts, and all of them. So this segment is, very unique. Now, all these case studies or testimonials which you have, I'm just checking for Akshari. Yeah. Now, Akshari has come to us and cleared after 10 attempts. Now, his son, she's also from Bangalore and Mysore, like she shuffles between that. Uh, Imagine for a young mother to clear after 10 attempts. So now she's practicing, and her son goes back and says that my mom is a CA. So, like, this has changed all of the things. So, we are largely happy with the kind of work we do. But having said that, for us to enable all of this and for us to do this, because we live in really, it's a very premium gated community in the heart of Hyderabad. Like it's in high-tech city, the heart of Hyderabad, and we live in 3 BHK spaces, and only the rentals itself, for us to maintain each space for 1 year, including the maintenance and the mentorship and all, each flat will cost us 25 lakhs. Now we maintain around 6 of them. So this is, why we do this is, if you look at ISB, they largely offer you brand and building. Now they have a brand, they have a building, but here we give you one-to-one attention. Two things which are unique about us: one-to-one attention, and we give you 100% result assurance. So this is nowhere in India. No one can do that. Now, for us to do this, we can only work with 11 people. So far, is it making sense, or would you love to be a part of this?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. So now I'll let you know what is the kind of investment which takes. And once it is done, you can think through that and let us know. After that, it's not a direct test. Please understand, because today I think I've done 6 calls with everyone, even though they have shared interest. We don't conclude because we process 30-40 applications. We have currently around 850 applications for this. Now we pick up probably 30-40, and then pick up 2-3 people, then start, then another batch, because we want to get reasonably right fit so that we can help everyone. Again, my game is to help all the 11 people clear with 100% probability, which makes it 1000% probability, 1100% probability, which is very high. From less than 10% to 1100% is very hard to make to come out. So we don't have to have a chance but to do this. But having said that, with the right merit, with the right intent, everybody has equal chance. Okay, so this is exactly what we do. Now, I think what you're looking for is May 25. You want to clear May 25 to add this 2 letters CA with 100% assurance, right? Is this what you're looking at? Okay. Now, we offer this, and this is a 100% result assurance program. And as I told you, everything will be taken one-to-one. And the program is an all-inclusive thing. Like you can come literally without phone and money. It includes everything, all-inclusive, including dropping you and picking you up from the last year, the last exam. There's nothing. You just come here and nothing else. We will create a new world for you. And for us to be able to do this, we charge 12 lakhs per student, which is again all-inclusive.
Okay. And hybrid is
So this needs to be paid in full, right, sir? In advance.
Largely, we want it at upfront, ma'am. But normally, what we do is we charge 6 lakhs at the time of joining, and then we give 3 to 4 weeks to finish. Like we don't. Pardon, sir?
So is there a way, is there any student who take loans, sir? Do you recommend?
See, because the traditional banks won't give you loans. It could be a personal loan. Normally, it should be a personal loan because if you look at personal loan, they don't really bother about what it is. Now, housing loan, vehicle loan, and education loan are earmarked. Now, for ISB, you'll get a loan. For this, you may not be able to get a loan because it's a private institution. You cannot get a loan directly. But it should be some other. Largely, most of them they take personal loans. That is something which they do. Yeah.
So ideally, I have to pay 6, and then after 3 to 4 weeks, I have to pay the balance.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And you will issue some receipt or something, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah.
You do that. And this is inclusive of everything, all the
All inclusive. All inclusive. Because we literally say. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We literally say students not to carry money, even because see, we have in-house cooks and everything, and whatever they want to order, the mentor will order for them anything they want to eat outside of basics. And we also keep some cash in each of the flat. They just have to write their name, and it is not even repayable. Matlab, it's just like for their some basic expenses they want to go out and have some chai, apart from what is provided. We always keep some cash there so they can use it. So that because we don't allow phones largely. And we also don't want them to deal with money. That it's like a very minimalistic monk life. So that way we do it.
Sir, looking at our case, is there any way where you can give us a small discount?
Not at all possible, ma'am, because
And I
we just
understand the whole logic, and I know that it's quite difficult for you,
We are very middle class people.
maintaining all this. I absolutely agree, because it's not a joke having someone you feed them and then you take care and give them all mentorship and all that. But somewhere, is there a way where you can slightly give us some discount on this?
Ma'am, I'll help you understand what you're saying. Let's say if I say that I have to normally get 300, give me a 10% discount, I'll get to 270. If this is okay for you, I'll do it. Because this is how tough it is for me. Now, if I take responsibility for 270, would it make sense for you? When I say that, I'm sure about getting a 270, 30 marks, you manage. Now that you understand, it's not that it cannot, but it's almost complete. But for us to operate, this is what it is. Even you can do the math, ma'am, because most of the coaching centers in India with a 10-member CA team make to the tune of hundreds a year. We don't even do 1% of it. But what we are doing is, by the end of the year, the brand which we want to build is, if a child comes to HLS, they have to clear it. And they have to build an all-round personality. At some point of time, we want to get here. This is where we'll make money. Not now. Not now. Nothing. It's nothing. It's simple numbers. Like it doesn't take us anywhere. So it's a futuristic brand where we want to compete with the likes of ISB. At some point of time, let it happen or let it not happen. But right now, until the first 4 years, we were actually loss making money. Just like we raised investor money and we did not bother about it because we want to get the proof of concept. Right now, we don't make a lot of margin, but we don't want to get into that. And again, we cannot do anything either with the price or the installments, because largely it'll help if we get a one-time payment. But since there will be requests, we are directly leaving it there, and you won't even get a single reminder regarding this. Like once you decide, we'll leave it to us. We'll give you the account details, or you want to pay some part in cash, whatever, however it is comfortable for you. So we'll leave it to you. That's about it.
Okay.
Sir, I also saw that one is residential program offline,
Yes.
one
Yes.
more online and hybrid was there, sir. Could you also
Yes.
explain those, sir?
Everything is same, but in
Okay.
that you have to choose group 1 or group 2. One will offer you either group 1 or group 2 support, and we charge
Okay.
6 lakhs for that
Okay, in online.
online. So out of 3 months, you'll be here for 1 month. Hybrid, 1 month you can come down to Hyderabad. 2 months will support online, but we'll give you support for one group. This is largely for people who are left with only one group. Most of the people who join when there is left with one group, it doesn't make sense for them to pay 12, and we cannot charge 6. Once people come here, the 6 is for the basic cost. It's not even break even. 6 is not even the break even cost for us. So even if they have one group also, we cannot do anything about it because the rents and the mentors, everything is the same. So at the same time, it won't be fair on our part to make them pay 12 for one group. So that's why this is created. That is for those section of people. Having said that, if it's only a financial thing, then you can look at it. Like where, okay, I'm reasonably done with one group. We'll give you complete support for one of the groups. And the other will support it, but we don't take responsibility or guarantee for the other group. You can choose either group 1 or group 2. Again, see, if it's a can't but, it's better than not do. It's better than not doing anything. But this has more value for money, because between this and this, if somebody wants to have a clear CA, not only that, for you to build the overall personality, and here you can come tomorrow also. Like there is no restriction. Like you could any point of time, it's the same. And there are a lot of things which you learn, because when you spend time with around 10 CAs in different capacities, the exploration is very different. Like if you have seen the evolution of how Manju, and she's still working with us, and she's a lawyer, she's also done a CSR. Like our cap build has become very different. So that way, you look at it like a holistic one-time investment in your life. This works. Or if you would only want to do it with numbers, this is decent. This serves the purpose because one group is largely sorted. You'll also get support for the other group, and you can fix it.
So in this hybrid, you said 1 month we can come down there and study. So
Yes.
I'm just asking, is there a possibility that in the last month, that is April, maybe if I'm giving May exam. So in April, can I come down there and then you start giving me mock tests and all? Here also you will be giving online, but
Madhuri, in this 1 month is we choose when you need it, because based on the cohort, we'll tell you when to come. Because between these 3 papers, and I said group 1 or group 2, between 3 papers, you have a paper which is at risk. It could be auditing, it could be DT.
Okay.
So the idea is to remove the risk by making you come here.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
largely for the risk removal.
Okay.
So there
Understood.
you don't have control over when you can come. And the biggest difference between this and this is here we give you exam support. In hybrid, there is no exam support because the exam support is the biggest game changer. A lot of people clear because of that alone. The margins, if you see a 40, 45, all of that, no matter what happens at home, that cannot be replicated. So we can do it only for 11 people.
Okay.
So that is the biggest differentiator between these two.
Okay. So suppose if she takes this both group 1 and group 2, how quickly she has to reach you, sir?
The earliest, the better, ma'am. Why do you have to sit when you are enrolling in a program? Like you have to outsource the responsibility to us. The earlier, the better. That's it. Because and these are not batch-based, these are team-based. When I say team, individually, your journey starts. It's personalized completely, and there is a collective, I would say, benefit of studying together. But largely, it's not like we follow the same table for everyone. Like it's custom built for you. When that is there, you take the advantage of coming at the earliest possible.
So can I get a day's time and then
You should,
I
ma'am. Definitely, you should. What we can do is tomorrow we'll connect once again around 8 p.m.
okay.
Whether it's yes or no, whatever it is, we'll discuss. Like you think thoroughly, you get me more questions. Now you understand the whole program. Now earlier you had YouTube insight. Now you have direct insight. So we'll quickly connect for 8 to 8:30 for half an hour. There, ma'am, again, I'm not saying joining is the right decision. I don't know what is the right decision. You should understand, you should arrive at it. I'll be able to answer more specific queries. From there, probably you can ask me to talk to some of the students, or you want to come. You can think through what is the best course of action for you to be able to take a decision. And from there, I think it will be one more step that will do. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Just
We'll connect. Yeah.
Yeah. So just give us a day's time and then we'll also think about how financially we can quickly arrange.
That's what it is, ma'am. What we normally do is, even if you say yes, we don't want to accept it. Normally, what happens is, this is a detail call. Tomorrow, we call it a follow-up call. In 24 hours, probably we'll connect at 8 p.m. for a follow-up call to understand the status. From there, largely things will become yes or no. And still, if something else, then you can take some time and let us know. That's about it. Or the other way around, if you see that, because sometimes when we go back and check, if we see some gaps in terms of that, we also can say yes or no. Because how we look at it is, first, since you are investing, we are operating an assumption that, okay, you are interested. Now, only when you say yes, you will be in shortlist.
Okay.
Once within the shortlist, we'll reach out once again. So this is exactly how the process happens.
Okay. So ideally, suppose if she's going to be there in the month of December, probably the 1st of December, and then on she'll be there until April, is it?
May exam, she'll finish all the exams here itself. Everything will be here. She'll come back as a chartered accountant. Like she'll know that she's clearing. That is where she'll come back. It's 6 months clearly.
Oh, exam kuda anke. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
that is yes, sir. That is the biggest part because exam, it's meticulously planned. Dropping her to the exam, what she has to study between 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Madhuri, show some videos of the exam center videos. That will be helping them understand. Okay, show them right after the call. So that is the biggest advantage because a lot of people lose it. They get psychologically stressed. They don't know what to do. Even after, let's say, accounts exam is done, the moment they step out of the exam, there is a car waiting, there is a mentor waiting, there are books given to them. They'll study, revise. Before you reach home, in that 1 hour, you'll switch between accounts to FR, whereas the rest of them will be worrying about accounts paper. You had already completed index mapping. So that is the biggest advantage where they study together. So that is the place where we almost add 20, 30 marks in just 15 days. So that's a fantastic advantage. You should not miss that. Yeah. Okay. We'll connect tomorrow. Yeah, sure. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. So tomorrow, 8 p.m. Okay. All right, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.